Hi, everyone. Welcome to another version of Tiara Talks. I'm Elizabeth Ruske, and joining me today is one of my esteemed business partners and colleagues, Peg Rowe.
Hello, everyone.
So, here today, we're going to talk about the power of acknowledgement. This is the time of year that a lot of our annual programs are wrapping up, and it's one of our favorite times of year. And both Peg and I have been leading different programs that both ended this week. And one of the final things we do is we wrap up with a session on acknowledgement because it's an incredible power that propels you forward. And we want to dissect that a little bit with you today. So
Yep.
so,
Yep.
Peg, one of the things we know, and let's start with the cycle of productivity,
Great.
because
Yeah.
that's one of the what I was just talking about, the propelling. You want to talk a little bit about that and how we use the cycle of productivity?
Sure. So we love this particular model because it shows that when we undertake anything, when we're, doing a plan as a team, when we're setting a goal for ourselves and we move towards it as an individual, the first thing we do is we plan or create. We create the plan that we're going to do it, and then we move into the doing part. So we take action, we execute, we move to get it, to do what it is there to do on this goal. And then we move into completion. We've now, wrapped it up, we've completed it, it's where it is. Often, what we do as human beings and teams is that's where we stop and we say, okay, we're done there. Now, done, finished, yay. And then we go right back to creating and planning. And we repeat that cycle. And a piece that we leave out, which we feel and we've learned is incredibly powerful to propel or create momentum for the next plan, is to take the time to acknowledge, to take the time to step back and process. It could be as simple as what worked or what didn't work, and what do we learn from it, or what are we proud of, what might we be disappointed in, and what do we learn. And in doing that, we're both acknowledging what occurred during that process, and we're also minding the learning from it that we can take into the next time that we plan and create.
Yeah.
So we don't like to skip that step. We see it as so valuable that we really make a point in all of our programs of pausing to do acknowledgement, so that we not only complete and call the program complete and finished at whatever point it is, but we've also acknowledged and used that then to move ourselves forward.
Yeah, it's a very, very powerful step in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's one that is fuel. As we talk about, it's momentum. It's
Yeah.
an exponential, kind of whip into what's next. But when we talk about acknowledgement, there you can acknowledge yourself, you can acknowledge others, you can acknowledge a situation. A lot of women that we work with, they're not always great about acknowledging themselves. So
Right.
I know that's one of the things we practice during the programs that we offer is being clear about it, because there's such power in knowing what you're good at and what you're not, and
Right.
and what you've achieved. And there's a lot of there's humility in that. That's not hubris when we do that.
No. Mm-mm.
So it's important that we realize that, just as important as to recognize others and share our appreciation with others, we have to make sure we're doing it for ourselves as well.
Yeah, and part of that is from our perspective, we want each of us as leaders to be able to source internally who we are and how we provide value. And that means that we don't want to wait exclusively for external validation, but rather we want to start with, okay, what do I feel went well? What do I want to acknowledge myself for? And that's just a great starting point, so that you've really taken the time to really assess how you were, what happened for you, and what you're taking away from the experience.
Yeah. I know you and I both kind of have a acknowledgement superpower, where we're really good at acknowledging others. And we do it very succinctly. It's not verbose. And it
Right,
usually, it's like an arrow that gets people right where we
right.
hope they would get it, right? They can
Yes,
they can feel it.
yes,
And I use the phrase that, this acknowledgement can open up gratitude, and kind of create grateful hearts all the way around. Like
yes,
when we see somebody letting that in,
right.
that it's like the gift that keeps giving. I mean, we are brought into that sense of joy that somebody's feeling at the same time. It's not why we're doing it, of course, but it's so contagious in such a powerful way.
I mean, I think one of the reasons that we love doing it in this very open public way within our programs is that everyone gets to share in that beautiful energy of gratitude and that opportunity to feel like they're all being seen and acknowledged and valued in that moment. And we want that. We want that for everyone who's in our programs to feel like we get them uniquely. It's not like one size fits all. It's like everyone, if we say, what's a word that you would use to describe this person? A word, a single word, you'll get a different word all the way around the room, which is beautiful because it means that that person's having a lot of different ways that they're impacting others. And sometimes when they hear that reflected back, I mean, it brings people sometimes to tears because they're so moved by knowing that they've been seen so deeply by these colleagues that they've been in this program with for a year. I mean, it makes a huge, huge difference.
The other thing I think it does is it allows people to feel affirmed as to not only who they are, but a confirmation of, are they showing up the way that they hope they are? So I love the way you say that they're feeling seen, they're feeling heard, but there's also this sense of confirmation that, you know what, this is who I think I am, and this is how people see me.
Right.
And the good news is if that's a match, terrific. If it's not, you've got an opportunity to course correct. But
Yeah.
it's such a validating, people feel validated, appreciated, seen with just simple acknowledgement of, who they are and the impact they're having.
I'm often surprised at, and no longer surprised at it, but how many times someone will say, I hoped that people saw me this way,
Mhm.
but I wasn't sure. So they have a way that they're willing to share about how they think they come across and who they think they are. And then there's this sort of secret desire behind that, that there's an impact they want to have. They want to be seen a certain way. And when people voice that, it provides a level of confirmation and validation that they were longing for, but wouldn't dare ask for.
Right. Well, thanks for listening to our Tiara Talk today. And we have a challenge for you as you go
Yes.
forward in your day. And that would be to not only acknowledge yourself, but
Mhm.
practice acknowledging others. Simply, it does not a paragraph. You don't have to write it out.
No.
Just let somebody know what you appreciate about them, how they're showing up, and
Yes.
the impact they're having. Thank you.
Thanks so much.